you guys doing?
Hi.
Hey, Eric. Brian on TripToSports.com.
Brian?
Yes.
Brian, how you doing?
Good. Everyone's just really interested about what prompted you to leave a good situation and come to the college ranks. And had you been thinking about college as a thing you wanted to pursue again, or did it just kind of come organically through this job?
Yeah, I think it was just an organic situation. I mean, it was a great opportunity for me from a career standpoint. Obviously, when you do your research on coaches around the country, Coach Riley was an awesome guy. His reputation has been phenomenal. Obviously, you guys know what he's been able to do from an offensive standpoint and the teams that he's had. When you talk about the Oklahoma teams that's had success, I mean, it was a no-brainer for me. And so, obviously being able to move right up the road when you talk about transitioning from the LA Rams and then, up here to LA, from Thousand Oaks, it was a smooth transition for my family. And it just made sense, and so I'm extremely excited about this opportunity, looking forward to it, and it's going to be fun for us.
Why is moving to college a great opportunity career-wise for you?
It just is. I mean, when you talk about being able to come and be a part of the change that's looking to be made from a defensive standpoint, I'm always looking for challenges in my career, always looking for ways that you can grow in the profession. I think this allows that opportunity for myself and just to be a part of something special that I believe Coach Riley's trying to build here. And when he shared his vision, it made sense to me, and it's something that you want to be a part of. I support that 100%. Obviously, the relationship that I've had with Dan and Lynn, being able to have worked with him with the Los Angeles Chargers back in 17, it was awesome. And so he and I have a great relationship. And so it made sense, man. It made all the sense in the world. And I'm extremely excited to be here.
Hey, Eric. Luke Evans, Orange County Register. Congratulations on the job.
Thank you, buddy. How you doing?
Good. Just wanted to. You have this concept of dog work, I think it is, that you preach. Can you just kind of describe what kind of the value of that is at heart and what you want to bring to USC?
Yeah, I think when you talk about developing a coach, which is something that we're going to be doing here amongst the defensive line group, I think that's extremely important. When you talk about the dog work, the mindset, the mentality, having that discipline, breaking it down from an acronym standpoint, you talk about the discipline, the attitude, the work ethic, the grit, the willingness to be able to, when you talk about work, right, being obsessed with greatness, attacking that with a relentless mindset, and then having that killer instinct about you. I think that explains a lot, both on and off the field, on the way you want to attack life. When you talk about these guys from not just a football standpoint, but how we want to attack life, having a dog work mentality, or chasing that with an aggressive mentality and mindset, I think that's everything that we want to stand for. And I'm extremely excited to see how these guys live that out.
Who was involved in helping identify the recruits? And
What's your name?
Oh, I'm sorry. Scott Strader with On3, WeRSC.
Yeah.
What was the process? Who was involved with helping determine the guys that you went and visited in January?
I think we have a magnificent staff here that puts together the recruiting plan in terms of making sure that I get out there to see the defensive linemen, if that's what you're speaking on, from a recruiting standpoint. When you talk about Dave Emmerich, the GM, and Weston and those guys, that staff who does a tremendous job here of identifying those guys and then putting together a plan of attack, if you will, that we needed to go out on the road and attack. And I think it was great for me to get in front of those guys with the opportunity that we're given, and I feel like it was a success thus far.
Hey, Coach. Connor Morissette with USCFootball.com.
Connor, nice to meet you.
Congratulations. Nice to meet you. Can you describe, in general, your coaching style?
Aggressive. I think when you talk about just the discipline, the dog work mentality is the exact same coaching style that I try to exemplify for the guys. So when you talk about the discipline, having the right attitude, things that I can control every day, those guys will feed off of me. So I know that I play a big part of the culture that's trying to be established within that room. And so that's why I'm excited about that. because I feel like if I have a part in how that how that revealed itself, I think the guys will feel that, and it'll come together exactly how I think it should come together.
Hey, Eric, Antonio Morales from Lynn. Lincoln just talked about his first conversation with you and how he felt like they had a shot at you when you guys first talked. Can you walk us through that first conversation? What it was like?
I mean, it was just awesome, man. When you talk about just, when I happened to meet Coach, it was one of those deals where you just, sometimes people say you hit it off, if you will, when you just talk about meeting good people. In this profession, a lot of the times, you know the people that you're going to communicate with, or you have a way of finding out the type of people that those people are. And so when your reputation is as it is, when you talk about Coach Lincoln's reputation, just being the type of person that he is, yet alone the respect level that he's earned as a football coach, you're excited about that. And so I had a pretty good familiarity with Coach when I met him, and I thought that was something that was important when you come down to my decision to be here. And so, just the person itself and the opportunity that this presented for me and my family was again self-explanatory. It was something that I was looking forward to, and was just excited to be here.
Could you paint the scene for us? Where were you guys? How long did that first talk go?
I can't remember how long that went, but it was a great conversation. Obviously it worked. I'm here, and so I'm excited about that, and just looking forward to what's to come.
Coach, Eric McKinney with WRSC. How have you got along with Sean Nua? How do you see that kind of working with?
I think it's awesome. I'm extremely excited about working with Sean. Again, one of those guys that I've had the opportunity to learn a lot about. Obviously, Sean visited training camp a few years ago when I was with the Rams, so I had the opportunity to meet him prior to this even happening. And so you just, again, learn about good people in the profession, right? Reputation that speaks volume. And so, again, to work with a guy like Sean, I am extremely excited. He is an awesome football coach, great mind. I think it's going to be a great mesh. It's already been A1 in terms of meetings and how we have gotten along. It's phenomenal. And so I'm just really excited about this opportunity as well.
Hey, great to meet you with you.
Great, nice to meet you.
Hey, one of the main reasons a lot of guys go from college to pros is recruiting. It's difficult. It takes a lot of time. You're coming back the other way, and from talking to Coach Riley already, he said you've already embraced the challenge of recruiting. Yeah. What's your philosophy of recruiting? What do you think about it and all that stuff?
Again, I love it. It's natural for me from a relationship standpoint. I think that speaks volume to the personality that I have and the type of person that I try to be. I love meeting people. You guys will find that out pretty soon. I love speaking to people, love talking about different things. It's who I am. And so, I wanted, quote unquote, all the smoke when you talk about going back to college to get involved in the recruiting process. I embraced that. I look forward to it, and that's why it fits who I am from a personality standpoint, and it's fun, when you can get the opportunity to meet young people, have an impact in those lives, whether you get the guy or not. There's some type of impact that you can have in a young person's life, and to me, I've been blessed with so much throughout my life. Whether you come to SC or not, I know for a fact that I can affect you, bless you, and help you become better in some type of way. And to me, that's what I look forward to. So it's all good.
Continuing to win with the LA Times, you're talking about developing. Just how important is developing for you and the staff specifically with where this program is? And Lincoln was talking about kind of still climbing up.
That's right. It's extremely important. Again, another challenge, right? When you talk about having been recognized as one of the best developers in the world, when you talk about the track record that I've been fortunate to have, or people have mentioned on the National Football in the National Football League. Having young guys and watching those guys grow, develop, have success again, and now you're getting guys that are coming out of high school that you get a chance to put the hands on those guys a little bit earlier than their time before the National Football League. And so that that alone is another challenge, right? When you're getting guys that are extremely raw in a sense from a technique and base fundamental standpoint. So being able to have an impact in those guys' lives from that standpoint, I think, is the challenge that I embrace the most when it comes to the development process. And I embrace that as well because I want to see and I want these guys to be respected around the country when you talk about how the USC defensive line, is going to perform, whether that be the young guys that are getting these opportunities to play. I want everybody to play. I think we're going to onboard some tremendous talent, and the guys that we have here, they're going to get better, and they're going to continue to get better. They're going to grow. They're going to understand ball, and all of that is part of the developmental process. But that's both above the neck and the physical attributes that you can get those guys to understand on the field. So,
do you have an idea of what you're even working with in terms of personnel? Like, have you met
I do,
any
and
of the
I'm
players?
still learning. I do, and I'm still learning. So I have a little bit of an idea from afar. I've been able to kind of start the process of getting familiar with all of the guys that we have on the roster as we speak. And so, and as we continue to move forward in spring ball, I'll get a better understanding of each and every one of our guys. And so I'm looking forward to that.
Eric,
Are there any deal breaker traits that recruits need to have in order for you to take them on here at USC?
No. People ask that type of question all the time. For me, you just have to be a deal breaker, right? You have to be a good person. That starts with, first and foremost. I like to look within, not just about what can he do on the football field, right? What type of family, that he comes from, whether that be like myself. I didn't come from, I lost my mom when I was 9 years old, never met my dad a day in my life, and I turned out perfectly fine. And so I truly like to look within the person and see how can I help them, right? Do they want to get better? That's both on and off the field, right? What are their goals and how does that mesh with the goals of the USC football program? And then, and if those things align, then, we can make it happen. And that's what I look forward to. So it doesn't really matter as long as that, we can mesh and we find a common ground in terms of that the person, the recruit, and what we're trying to do here at SC.
What do the football facilities mean?
Excuse me, Paulina?
What do the new football facilities mean?
It means everything. I think anytime that you can upgrade your facilities and it become, at the top echelon of the college football world from a facility standpoint, right, that's always going to be a great thing. And so I know the guys are going to be excited about it. Obviously, the recruits are excited about those things. And even as the coaches, right, when you can upgrade the coaches' locker rooms and things of that nature, the sauna, the hot, all that stuff plays a significant role in our development as well. So we're looking forward to it, and it'll be fun for us.
Eric, Lincoln mentioned that Danton ultimately he's going to have ultimate control of the defense. He's the coordinator, what have you. That being said, he emphasizes versatility, size up front. How does your understanding of the defense and how you want to coach the defensive line, how do you see that meshing with him and working with him?
The exact same way. I mean, it's if you really pay attention to some of the things that we were able to do with the Los Angeles Rams, it's going to be a little bit of the exact same thing. And some of the things that Danton was able to do with the Baltimore Ravens, it's some of those things. I mean, you talk about just the style of players. I think the game is changing. I saw that in the NFL because I've always felt like I tried to be ahead of the changing curve, if you will, in terms of the kind of guys that you wanted to draft, right? Some people thought just this past season that, they drafted a guy by the name of Kobe Turner from Wake Forest who was like 6'1", 280 pounds, right? Nobody knew who he was, and he ended up probably should have won Rookie Defensive Player of the Year. And so when you can see the landscape of the league, the landscape of college football, it allows you to get ahead of the curve from a recruiting standpoint, and obviously in the NFL from a drafting standpoint, right, with those versatile players, whether the size, none of that matters. It's about the heart that these guys have, the understanding of the game, right? And then obviously when you have such a skill set or athletic traits that go with that, it can make you a better player.
How do you see that? How do you see that curve changing now that you're back in college and affecting, how you recruit guys from a high school level now, what you're looking for?
Because those guys, they have more at their disposal from a training standpoint, and if you see the curve in college, in the NFL, when you talk about the college players, right, it's obviously starting early when you talk about the high school players. So being able to get ahead of the game to recruit those types of guys, right, that's where I think, the versatility comes from those type of players that you want to be able to onboard, and not just the whole, hey, let's just go get this type of guy, whatever that is, right, and just say do this, do that. You want guys that can do a lot, right, and you have to have the mental capacity, the above-the-neck approach to the game, and you have to make your teaching style a bit simple so guys can play fast, which is the ultimate goal. And so I think when we can do those things, we'll have success.
Are you able to have you seen enough of guys like Janae, Avasiri, and the guys Carlin and guys like that to make comments on what you've seen out of the guys, incoming guys?
Yeah, but I still wouldn't feel comfortable making too many comments at the moment. If you talk to me after spring, I think it'll be, fair for everybody.
Coach, out of graduate sporting tribute, USC obviously has a long history of defensive linemen. You go back a little while, like in the 60s and 70s, recently with two Julie Flow-Tubes.
No doubt.
So I'm curious if you got your opportunity for the players to reach out to you.
Does any, you say that did any?
Have you had any contact with any former USC defensive linemen?
I have not. But one of the guys that I've played with was an ex-teammate of mine, was Frosty Rucker, that played here, and I played with Frosty with the Cincinnati Bengals. He was extremely excited for me getting the opportunity to be here, and so, but I have not.
You touched on your personal background, losing your mom early. Your dad, who did you lean on growing up? Who shaped you, and how did that kind of shape who you are now?
No doubt. Great question. I lost my mom when I was 9. Never met my dad a day in my life. I'm the oldest. I have a younger brother, younger sister. I went on to live with my grandmother in high school. And so I would like to pay a lot of, respect to my grandmother from a shaping standpoint. However, she passed away my senior year at high school. And then my aunt that was living in the house with us kind of took over as custody, if you will. My freshman year of college, I went to school at Georgia Tech. My aunt passed away. And so I technically grew up alone, in a sense. If you really, know what I mean right there, was in college. I learned a lot in college. I probably spent a lot of my time in college worried about my brother and my sister who was back home with no parental guidance. And so that was probably the hardest part for me. Because I was fortunate to have the likes of a football scholarship with a lot at my disposal. When you talk about just being able to have coaches and all of the stuff that you get from to being a collegiate athlete, it was a bit easier for me, but still yet hard to deal with from a personal standpoint, obviously. And so I think it was just a lot of faith in God, man. Understanding that everything happens for a reason, but I'm never left alone. I don't go through situations that I'm not fit for, and I understood that concept, and I think that was something that motivated me. I knew that the experiences that I had early in my life were going to lead to something special. And I believe at this point in my life, I'm beginning to reap the benefits of it. So if there's anybody out there that go through things and you start to give up because it don't work on your time, just trust the process and trust your fate, and just know that it will happen for you. And I believe I'm a testament to that.
What was your role in helping your brother and sister through those times?
What was my role?
Yeah.
I played the father figure. I had to be there for them in every way possible. sometimes it was a lot, it was more mentally draining for me than anything. My time in the NFL, would come home in the off season, and then I'm worried about, my sister and my brother and making sure that their living conditions were okay. Same thing in college. My brother graduated high school. It was my senior year of college, and I had to move him to Atlanta just so I can have a closer eye on him to get out of New Orleans, the family that, the company that he was surrounded by. It just made me feel a bit better so that I can finish school with a peace of mind and achieve the goals that I knew I had to strive for in order for my family to get where I wanted them to get, And so I knew it was important for me to make it.
Eric, when you look back on that period now, thinking of who you are as a coach, as a mentor, how do you sense how that kind of shaped how you try to mold?
Well, because it's obviously it hardens your heart in a sense, but there's also so many experiences that you go through along the way, so many trials, so many tribulations, so many tests that challenges you. And so for me, you're fit for everything in my mind. Right? There's nothing that I don't feel like I'm ready for when it comes to life. I understand that if anything happens, it's happening for a reason. It's gonna be hard. You're gonna deal with certain things. I understand that, and so when you just prepare your mind that way, I think it eases you a little bit. It allows you to deal with matters a lot better. Sometimes you don't feel so surprised in a sense, and so that's how it works for me, man. I'm just, I'm tough. And I'm tough, and I'm not just talking about from a physical standpoint, but mentally, and I think that allowed my coaching style to develop to what it is. That's where the dog work mentality comes from, 100%, and so, right, and I know that I can, there's a lot of guys that you meet that go through similar situations, and you can relate to those things, and I don't shy away from that. I used to be so afraid to talk about my life when I was young, and now it's like nothing, because I understand the importance of sharing my story with people. And if you can do those things, you never know who you're affecting. And I understand that. And so for me, I just embrace everything. I want it all. And I know that I can be a factor in so many ways, and so that's why I do what I do.
And in what ways does a kid, a five-star kid from South Georgia, benefit from coming here to USC to play for you?
Just from everything I just mentioned. When you talk about just having someone that sincerely cares because of the experiences that I've been fortunate to me, some people may not call it fortunate, but now in retrospect, I've been fortunate to have experienced what I've experienced in life. And not only the life benefits that you can get from a coach that sincerely cares, but also when you talk about just the football resume, right, which I don't like to speak on myself, so I'd rather you do your research from that standpoint, but I can help you in that matter. And I know that I can develop you from that standpoint and just help you be a better person in life as a student athlete. And and I think that it's a no-brainer. And then when you talk about being here at SC, what else are you looking for? That's just, I don't see how you can go anywhere else in my mind, but it is what it is.
Coach, who are some of your biggest coaching influences, whether it's from the Rams or when you were in college or in previous spots?
Yeah. I've had a lot of people that I've been blessed to have been around. When you talk about just starting off in college, Chan Gailey was my head coach. My high school coaches, Don Watney, Coach Brooks, guys that have been influential in my life, both as developing as a man and as a coach. And then when you talk about Marvin Lewis, who's still a mentor of mine, obviously, Anthony Lynn, Danton's father, gave me my first opportunity in the NFL. I wouldn't wouldn't be here if I didn't get the opportunity from Coach Anthony Lynn. And so, and that allowed me to meet, I worked with Coach Giff Smith, who coached me in college, who's who just replaced me with the Los Angeles Rams as the defensive line coach, who's like recruited me since I was in the 9th grade. All of my influences have been people that are dear to my heart. We talk about Sean McVay, just interviewing for 5 hours with Sean before he made me the defensive line coach in 2019, was everything. And so, and then sharing all of those experiences, winning Super Bowls together, learning so much about ball. I think Sean, I just think the world of him. I think he can be a defensive coordinator and an offensive coordinator and can call both sides of the game at the same time. I do think that he can do that. As weird as that is, but he has that type of brain. I respect everything about him and what he's done for my career and my family, the Rams organization. But Gus Bradley's been awesome and influential into my development, both as a coach and as a person, the way that he just talks about life. So many people. I could go on and on, but I hope I'm not leaving anyone out, but I'm just so thankful for everyone that I've been in contact with that's played a significant role into my development as a person and as a football coach, and just thankful.
You've known Dan before, but now seen him in this role, this capacity.
Yeah.
What stands out to you about him as a coordinator? What do you look about that job?
He's just on it. He's always been sharp. It's not like, I knew he was going to be a coordinator when he was quality control for Gus Bradley. He was the coordinator, because people don't understand how it works in the NFL. When you're basically working hand in hand with the defensive coordinator and doing everything for the defensive coordinator, you're the coordinator. You're just not calling it at that time. And so to me, it was easy to see him in that light. That's why it's so natural from a fit standpoint, and it doesn't surprise me the success that he's had and he's going to continue to have, because he's a great person as well. When you talk about just the heart, the genuineness, like what you see is truly who he is, man. And so, that's why it's easy to be around a guy like that, and so I love him. And so he's just awesome.
Let's do one more.
Eric, go ahead.
How important is it to be surrounded by similar people like you here at USC, guys that, I don't want to say they're not happy being here, but this isn't necessarily the end goal for them?
Yeah, it's extremely important. I think that it starts with the people, and when you have the right people in the building, like what you speak of, people that want to be here, people that love the university, that love the coaching staff, makes it easy to go to work with, because you can have the tough conversations with those type of people that you work with. When you have those genuine relationships or working relationships, those are the kind of staffs that you want to be around. I've been fortunate to have been around some tremendous staffs. And when you talk about what it takes to win a Super Bowl or a world championship, the same goals that we're trying to achieve here to win a national championship, right? You got to have good people. And I think Coach Lincoln has done a tremendous job of putting those type of people in the building, whether it be academics, whether it be strength and conditioning. You got good people, man. And so that's what it's about.
Thank you, Coach Henderson.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing your story with us.
No doubt.